Okay, so we are in the second stanza. Well, it's actually the second stanza, but it's still a continuation of line 4, which is going to be like 4c. So it says, in them he has set a tabernacle for the sun. And so let me just, since that's part of 4, let me just go ahead and elaborate on that one. And so what he's talking about in what is the them? What is he talking about? So in the heavens, he has set a tabernacle for the sun, which is well, let me go ahead and just read it since it has a comma there. And speaking of comma, let me just tell you that I am reading from the New King James Version of the Bible. I love the New King James. It's like the King James Version, but you know, I like New King James because it takes away the thee and the thou and the things that ends in a th, but it is so I mean, that's the reason why, you know, I use the New King James Version, and it's not really translated down too much from that version. So, but anyway, so in them he has set a tabernacle for the sun, which is like a bridegroom coming out of his which is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices like a strong man to run its race. Its rising is from one end of heaven, and its circuit to the other end, and there is nothing hidden from its heat. So let's talk about it. So he's talking about the sun, and he's saying that the sun is in a tabernacle or a tent. And what do we know about tents? Tents are different from a home. A tent is mobile. It moves. And so what he's saying is that the sun is in a tent. It's not going to stay there long. It's going to pick up and it's going to go somewhere else. That's what you do in a tent when you're going camping. All right. So perfect description of that. So then it says, which is like a bridegroom. So this is a metaphor, simile, describing what the sun is like and coming out of his chamber. And if you notice, if you're ever looking at the sun, you can see like the rays of the sun, and it just so majestic, you know, looking at the sun and the rays coming like that. And you can see the sun that's just coming down, and like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, strong. All right. And rejoices like a strong man to run its race. So, and it gives us a reference scripture to Ecclesiastes 1:5 that says, the sun also rises and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it arose. So the sun rises and goes down, and is eager for the place where it arose. So it just does it all over again. It moves, it picks up a tent, what it camps there for a part of the day, and then it picks up the tent and goes somewhere else on the other side of the world. And I like how it says like a circuit. Well, I mean, it just a totally description of God's creation. So, but anyway, that's that for that stanza. So now we're going to move to line 7, the third stanza, that says, the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is pure. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. That sounds like a nice poem. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey in the honeycomb. Moreover, by them your servant is warned, and in keeping them there is great reward. Sound like a very nice piece of poetry. I love that. So we're going to go ahead and end here, and I'll pick it up with the explanation of this third stanza in the next segment.